Former communications director for Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Mark Bednar. I mean, Mark, this goes beyond a Democrat party in disarray, although that is part of this. This is revolting. This is anti-American. How did we get here?
I mean, Todd, it's as disheartening as it is dangerous. What's really remarkable about that Axios piece is that they actually interviewed more than 24 House Democrats. That's more than 10% of the caucus. And not a single one of them even hinted that they wanted to go away from the policies and the rhetoric that actually cost them the election, and that they're actually feeding into the frenzy of their rabid Democratic base. And what's also more alarming, too, is that there is a perverse incentive structure for Democrats right now where they can fundraise off of their rhetoric and their actions. Between AOC calling to abolish ICE, to Congresswoman McIver after she was charged for assaulting an ICE agent, she fundraised off that. And Senator Padilla, after he accosted Secretary Noem, he fundraised less than 24 hours off of that. So it's a very disastrous cycle here.
Yeah, I would go so far as to say if literally 2 assassination attempts against Donald Trump last year did not get the Democrats to tone down their rhetoric, I truly don't know what will. And you really hit on something very important. They are using this to fundraise, which is a whole other level of sick on top of this. But I want to get your thoughts on this. The article goes on to say that these voters that are calling for all this violence and blood, as I read in the introduction, they tend to be white, well-educated, and live in upscale neighborhoods. What does that tell you, Mark?
Well, I think the broader picture of the electoral map and what the results have shown over the last couple of years, that's the bigger story here. President Trump and House Republicans over the last 3 elections have successively become more competitive and more basically winning more elections along the southern border and winning more successfully with Hispanic voters. That, to me, shows that where Republicans are in terms of border security and actually concern for American citizens, Hispanic voters are there. And the fact that if white urban liberals are not concerned about the well-being of American citizens or the well-being of ICE agents, that should be a big concern for voters across America.
And somebody who did really well with white, well-educated, very wealthy voters is a guy here in New York City named Zohran Mamdani. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says he's planning to meet with the Democrat New York City mayoral nominee, Zohran Mamdani, next week, but is not committing to an endorsement just yet. Watch.
We'll have a conversation about his vision. He did run a campaign that was actually focused largely on affordability. And that was the right issue to focus on. I also want to talk to him about the importance of Democrats taking back control of the United States House of Representatives next year so we can have some balance in the country.
Read the tea leaves for us, Mark. I'm noticing a little bit of a change in the last 2 weeks since this guy became the Democrat nominee. Is the Democrat leadership finding a way to hold their nose and take their medicine, basically finding a way to accept this socialist, or as Donald Trump refers to him, this communist?
Well, Hakeem Jeffries knows that he has a big mess on his hands because this is problematic both in the short term and long term for Democrats. In the short term, currently there are 13 seats that Donald Trump won, but that also are occupied by House Democrat. Every single one of them is going to have to answer for the fact that a member of their party, the mayor of the largest city in America, often quotes Karl Marx and wants to seize the means of production for a productive society. But then long term, already, New York was slated to lose 2 to 3 electoral seats in the 2030 census. That sounds like a far way off, but that's only 5 years away. And so if this mayor accelerates the economic plans that he wants, that could even lead to a larger departure of New York citizens to more red states. So that makes things much different for Democrats long term as well.
It just seems to me that there was a lot of fire and brimstone, it seemed, coming out of the Democrats on the Wednesday after the election, like, oh, this isn't good. Now, 2 weeks later, it's just like, maybe this Mamdani guy is onto something. And I think that concerns you if you're a Democrat or just a citizen of New York City, because I think we all know what his policies are. In fact, we don't have to guess. He's told us. Mark Bednar, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Todd.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.